Our last speaker.
Aldo first. Wants to say one word. Yeah, wants to say one word.
You're cutting him off, man.
I gotta cut somebody off. We need some order in this house.
He's
no?
Italian, you can cut him
He's
off.
Italian, you can't cut Aldo off.
Okay, Aldo,
cut you off.
one word.
The knees.
Do you want to say something?
Geo-Karis.
No, she wants to be last.
She has to be last.
She has to be last.
State Senator Aldo DeAngeles.
Yeah,
State Senator
they didn't warn me, Aldo.
Mr. DeAngeles.
I wasn't on the program, but I felt compelled to speak because I have the privilege and the honor of being Walter's seatmate. And when Walter was elected, Senator Phillip suggested that Walter sit next to me because I have as close to an ethnic district as Walter does. And I have to tell you how much I've enjoyed that assignment. There's only one thing that I think I would enjoy more than having Walter as a seatmate, and that was my last enema. Some of you have heard about Walter's athletic ability. Walter was telling me about when he was a young kid, the Ukrainians were playing the Polish guys in a football game over at a church lot, and the church bells rang, and the Polish guys thought the game was over and walked over off the field, and 5 plays later the Ukrainians scored. Some of you have heard about the Ukrainians being fighters, and they are, but I have to tell you, they learned through psychology, because they're not big people, they're not a lot of people. In fact, they took a page out of Napoleon's book. If you recall, when Napoleon fought, he had his soldiers wear red vests, so as they charged and they were shot, the enemy didn't know that they were wounded. And that is the reason why all Ukrainian soldiers wear brown pants. Now, I don't mind riding up here. Walter is really a super guy. We enjoy him in the Senate, and we look forward to roasting him again. Thank you for having me.
Our last roaster this evening is State Senator Adeline Geo-Karis.
Oh, God.
And I'd like to tell you that before she gained prominence in the state Senate and did Lake County proud, she was really well known in the Chicago area and in Lake County as the inspiration for the comic strip Broomhilda.
That's the introduction, kid.
That's it. Even Geo moves the microphone.
Governor, enjoy your laugh. It might be your last. Your Excellency and other distinguished visitors here, I'm delighted to be here because I'm the only true ethnic on the state ticket. I'm a Greek.
I'm a Swede.
You know, the reason the governor complained about Dudycz on the farm bill is because he was really hurt with him, but the reason Walter Dudycz supported Neil Hartigan's farm bill is because he knew you'd be sending him back to pasture if he kept it up like that. And I might say, poor Pate Phillip, my minority leader, now he's got another ethnic in the Senate, Walter Dudycz. He had Adeline Geo-Karis, he's had her for 7 years. And believe me, it hasn't been easy for Pate. He's finally learned how to spell my name. And pretty soon have hopes. By the end of your term, Pate will know how to spell your name. You know, it's nice to be here. As a matter of fact, I want to say good evening to all of you, but I want to say dobry večer. And I want to thank Father Peter for helping me. But,
Clean up your mouth.
and I hope it's clean. And I can tell you something about everyone on this table.
Yeah,
I won't
tell him.
I gotta tell you about Walter Dudycz. When he first came to the Senate, he seemed like a nice gentleman, very pleasant and all that. All of a sudden, in 6 months, he thought he was going to be the minority leader. And then he and 3 others, I call them the plotting trotters. 4 of them got together Judy, Topinga,
Yeah.
Custra, Bill Maher, and Walter Dudycz. And they'd be plotting. When the governor would want something, they'd be plotting. They didn't agree with him. So I said, why don't you shut up? You're new. I don't care. I came here to represent my district. At the rate you're going, you ain't going to be representing it very long. And you know, he has a very good singing voice. He sings beautifully. When it was dull in the Senate, we sing together. We have to. We have no other choice. But I got to tell you something about Walter. He's a dedicated man, but he can owe his success to two fine other guys who've helped him along. And that's two other policemen, Chester Harnowski and George Gottlieb. And maybe now he's outgrown them. But I'll tell you one thing, they'll remind him at the next election. I might tell you that he's been a pleasure to have in the Senate. I'm delighted to see my governor here. Because he's, you know,
Not even a candidate.
he calls me Auntie Jill, and he's my nephew Jim. We're not blood related, but he has had enough character building sessions in his offices when I don't agree with him, so that we both hear each other. And the air turns blue, but I want to tell you something. Walter makes no bones about it. If Pate thought his caucuses were bad with me, now he's even appreciating me with Walter in it. But Walter can thank the stars for his dad and his marvelous wife and his mother. Only they would tolerate and put up with him as much as they have. And I might tell you one more thing. The Italian stallion, as we call him, Senator DeAngeles, I don't know about the brown pants, but you wear green pants very often, so what does that mean? And sometimes they are diarrhea red in color. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to hurt my friend, and I noticed my county chairman got honored here tonight by speaking, and I didn't even know he was coming. He's going to hear about it later, and that's about me. But it's a pleasure to be here with all these fine people. He's a good boy, and he's going to stay good as long as I'm around the Senate. And if he doesn't want me in the Senate, he better help me get elected state controller. Thank you very much.